Hello, welcome back to what feels like a decisive moment, albeit possibly one of the more forced or scripted ones. Maybe we always had to come here one way or another. But yeah, we stood by this generator. And I believe we have the
This
oil,
old cylindrical generator
the
waits
fuel.
with its fuel cap open. Makeshift electrical wiring runs out of its side and across the floor.
I guess we pour it in.
The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch.
Pull the rope, I guess.
The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
That should do it.
So now we can use the computer, which requires going all the way around. Trying to walk more. Oh, wait.
A dim golden glow animates the console. Faint, like a ghost light. Urgence ouvert reads one dial key. Allumer reads another.
It's on. Turn emergency open.
Automatic boot.
Let's turn it then.
The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
Biggest door we've successfully opened as of yet.
After you.
What if we get into another fight?
Don't worry. I have a gun.
I presumably have no bullets.
Harry, this reminds you, you're out of bullets.
My gun is out of bullets, by the way.
Then it's extra good that mine is not.
Cool, helpful. Why do I feel like Kim might have a heel turn? And in fact, maybe be the La Puta Madre agent and wipe me out at the end. Couldn't give me even a single bullet, huh? Stingy bastard. I guess if I'd found a weapons cache, I may have got some bullets. Well, no, I've found the one weapons cache. I don't know. Not for me, I guess. Wait, so all that just to lead outside where we probably could have reached anyway? Outside of game logic. Don't think it's relevant. Are they like the flowers on Clash's balcony? Maybe. Hello. There's a guy with a sniper. been up there. Okay. Well, there's no point me even getting my gun out. As was just pointed out, I have no ammo. Fine. The deserter.
An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours. Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
Nice gun you got there.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
What make of rifle is that exactly?
It's a 3-Angong 446.
Southeast Samaran made. Exotic. Must be defunct too. No modern rifle manufacturer of that name springs to mind.
A Samaran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
The Sinyao commune?
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk wiped from the ball.
Sure, your weapon has stayed true to you. Mine has stayed true to me too.
Yes. I bet you've killed a lot of people with it. You fascist fuck.
Excuse me?
Have you come to make me one of them?
His left eye twitches. With what? Fear? Rage?
We have come to ask you questions, nothing more. If you do not comply, we will take you in. Do you understand?
Another spitball lands in the ashes. That's all the answer he gives.
Are you the fire guy?
The what now? I can't hear you.
Did you recently tell 2 kids to put out their fire? 2 twins.
I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to give up the position.
The position sounds like a hiding place.
Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up.
Did you close the... you've retained your eyesight.
My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
Did you close the blast doors?
I did. And you opened it. How?
I fueled the generator, then used the console, obviously.
I should have burned that console down.
How did you know I was coming?
Reactionary rock and roll music. Playing on the water.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
But you actually didn't say that, Kim?
I did.
We have entered a world where he said you shouldn't. It is the only world.
It was not reactionary. It was cool.
The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate. Hip gyrating, mental illness music.
Okay, so guy hates rock music. Got it. Yeah, I don't see a reason to take his gun off him right now. With the police, you can keep the gun, but keep it down. Not one move.
No.
Oh?
Put it down now, sir.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
He stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound. A strange sadness, like a song.
What did you say?
The future teaches you to be alone.
The present.
The present.
The present to be afraid and cold.
Those words, the future teaches you.
Real music. Real projet cult. That's la Revacholière, not your rock and roll misanthropy. Chanson de soldat of the black and whites.
You need to address that remark.
I'm not a misanthrope. I'm a half-dead police officer who's just doing his job.
The job of a shitlicker.
Understood.
You don't understand anything.
Do I want to pick up the gun?
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stocked and patched in places with tape and wire. The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangon, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
Closer. No, we already did. This uses jacketed ammunition, 4.46.
The right type and the right calibre.
He's liking this.
As he said, it's a triangle, or at least that's what's carved on it, right? Doesn't mean it is.
No one said it has to be a Belmagrave. We were just guessing.
From ballistics, it could easily have been a triangle, too.
It doesn't matter if it was made in Shanty Shanty. All it has to do is use jacketed ammunition. And it does.
Alright, stow it.
The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly.
He has another gun somewhere, or something.
This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession. In time.
Who are you?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
The Commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? Your holdover from the...
From the Insular Indian Citizens Militia, the Army of the Revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in '07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in '08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the Commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
You've been on this island for 43 years.
No. I've been on other islands, too. I was an Krimxon until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was an E-48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago.
You said you deserted your unit?
I was just 16 years old, 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too.
Lapse of faith?
You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took
For what?
for reaction to take hold.
Go on then, what's reaction?
Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all men.
When was this exactly?
May the 13th, 08, 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds, storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic.
Dark magic?
The combined might of international capital. All at once, all the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower, huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room.
A terrible shame still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and smallness of what he became.
You didn't go to the map room.
No. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers there, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened of the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring.
What was that?
Airships. I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too, shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality.
Seen what?
The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love. All the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know.
What?
That the bourgeois are not human.
I've always suspected the same.
Now is not the time, Lieutenant Yefreto.
I had to. I had to fight it. I could not stop anymore.
What is this place, this island?
It's not an island, Dwat. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender.
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
How have you survived all this time?
How does anyone survive? I steal.
Now hold on there.
Self-employed, create the system, and do what? What do you steal?
Supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
He does seem frail. Gaunt for his age. More like 75 than 65. Trouble putting on weight could mean cancer.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
We have Dramamine and other opioid-based painkillers. You must be in pain.
I have been running out of that stuff.
This is a serious situation. You need to be looked over, and we can do it.
There's nothing to look over. The triage is in, and it's black. Administer morphine. Moribund.
How have you coped mentally?
I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of... I don't even know what. Inferno?
Oh, what's he about to say?
I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult, mentally, to live in isolation.
Traitors. It's better alone. I watch the people of this city turn the lights back on, more and more each year. Ruins, glimmering in the dark, like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
How have you concealed yourself all these years?
It was hard in the tens. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Coal City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequency's dead.
How did you get between here and the mainland? Swimming?
At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I just...
Why don't you just walk there?
I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals.
He does not want to see life moving on. People forgetting, drinking, laughing.
The weapons cache and 22B in the basement. Have you been there?
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right?
They were.
Useless now. Rusted away.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across.
There's a small bunker under the Feld building. Have you stayed there?
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys.
Killed themselves?
A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
Okay, tell me another thing.
The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
Again, you've been hiding here for 43 years.
43 years and 10 months.
That's the length of my entire life.
It's too long. It's not how a human being should live. But I couldn't just forget what I saw.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects giant letters across the plaza mosaic in dark red government-marked heavy fuel oil. Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk.
Huh? The fishing village?
The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smelling of petroleum. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
Always waiting.
Is he coming to me? For what?
For her to return.
Huh?
Her who?
Not Dolores Day, surely?
Girl, child, revolution.
Girl child revolution?
Always.
Nothing in history is guaranteed, but revolution is still a possibility.
No. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
What have you done?
So that's why he's the deserter.
Once a deserter, always a deserter.
I have done everything a man can do. What have you done?
We keep people alive. We help them survive, whatever the ideological situation, day in and day out.
Survive? For what?
Said this is your term of surrender?
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob, that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol.
Fine. I know what it looks like, but I have secret plans to turn the RCM into a Mazovian revolutionary unit.
Rock and roll posturing. You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste Insolente. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit. Rene, the royalist on the coast, said,
You never signed the Revacholian instrument of surrender.
Liberal reactionaries signed that instrument. Traitors who should have been burned alive. I answer to the Communist Party.
Is that part of why you've been here all this time? Because the party didn't surrender?
he just wipes the blood from his chin.
Honourable.
Honor is a feudal atavism. My motive is class.
So you're a communist soldier from the communist army?
No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army.
But you said you were trained and assigned to the Defence Corps.
Trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
Wait, what does a political commissar do?
The old man does not answer. He tilts his silver head and looks at the reeds. You see a small tremor pass through his legs.
His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control and follows the ideology of the Commune.
Scientific communism. A commissaire politique is a knight philosopher of the revolution, a future human.
That means you're a trained communist, right?
He nods slowly. Then another tremor.
I'm also a communist.
No, you're not. You're a liberast.
Liberast?
A liberal and a pederast. It's what most liberals are.
Not a liberal. I told you I'm a communist.
Detective, we have not come here to discuss ideology.
Really hates it.
We have come to ask questions regarding a murder investigation.
The old man spits into the fire pit. He does not say anything more. A jitter passes his lower body.
What was that term? Pederast? I'm curious. Oh, okay. Homosexual pedophile? Right, awesome. Good to know. I have another serious question for you.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce.
Composure. Maybe I can get more composure. What have you been using this gun for?
I've used it for killing people.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay, okay. Go in straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
Wait, so which one do I say then? Oh my god, that's actually an option.
Nothing comes to you. Silence. His black eyes look at you.
I don't know which to pick. After active fighting start. No, let's get real specific. Maybe this one, I think, is the best one. I know you want to tell me. Have you killed anyone with that gun in the last week or two?
I don't want to tell you anything, you grotesque murderer.
And why did you think that was a good idea? Don't listen to me. I'm wrong all the time.
Great. Did you use that gun to shoot and kill a colonel at the security contractor Krenel?
The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire.
The fascist death squad who took a bullet in the mouth on the night of March the 4th.
Oh yes, that one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
A drop of blood in the saliva. Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get a confession.
I mean, I'm not sure if he did it, but he's the best suspect we've had so far.
The gun. The murder weapon is the perfect opener.
And yeah, I'm going to start ignoring suggestion from now on.
The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember. Something about the tracks. Suddenly, all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else first.
I don't need your cooperation. I've got this.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun, not like your little musketeer pistols. I've seen you prance around with those, jumping hoops for the liberals. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys killed.
He would have a good view of the tribunal from here. It's not just empty boasting. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
Stop changing the subject. We have the murder weapon.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it?
You think we have the murder weapon?
4.46 jacketed ammunition, modified for range. We have it. This is it.
I'm calling it. We have the murder weapon, I guess.
Good.
Huh.
This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder.
This pushed him, but not enough. Just a little more.
We've done the ballistics. The shot came from this island.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. You've been here a long time, Mr. Dras. Too long. You clearly need medical aid.
I'm ready to die. I've done my part.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Done his part. Just one thing remains unclear. The rifle does not seem to have a scope.
One thing, where's the scope? How did you make the shot without a scope? We have everything else.
Forget about your stupid fucking scope. I don't know where it is. Find it yourself. It's your problem now.
He lost it. He just doesn't know where it is. Forget it. Push on.
You said fascist. You're admitting you killed him?
You're sad for your fascia brother, aren't you? One twig got broken. Now the others are sad.
Almost. He almost burst out there. Keep piling arguments. Anything.
Okay, a suggestion says that, so I'm not doing it. Let's back off for a moment. Tell me this.
You're lost, Dwat. You're lost.
Compose your clothes. Stay put.
I ain't going anywhere.
Actually, very similar. I want to change off those again when I get the chance, though.
Minions of capital. What do you want?
Assess his body language.
For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble,
Damn
who
it.
spent his entire life alone on an uninhabited island, he seems surprisingly fit.
That's it.
He's prone to erratic hand gestures and clearly malnourished. But that's it. You can see no more by looking at his slouched frame. The moment passes, and you say,
Well, I guess I'm doing it then.
Minions of capital.
83%.
What do you want?
what strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. It's precisely what you could not see before. For a man who spent 44 years in the urban wild.
He is surprisingly okay. Yeah, he made it. 44 years.
Indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. Above all, he seems animated.
By what?
It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous system. Great leaps of emotion, from anger to grief, despair.
Dementia?
You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even, not senile.
Couldn't just be a byproduct of his life.
Perhaps, but his seems more than that. The inner turmoil takes unexpected turns, as if forced on him in a way. In summary, you sense some underlying neurological disorder.
Mr. Dross, are you okay? How is your memory?
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
There it is again, erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course.
Alright, all of that for actually very little. Got the boots and the coat. Yeah, I'll take that hand-eye coordination bonus. Why not? Why not? A little bit less logic. Nah. Logic boy.
Minions of capital. What do you want?
One more time about the Colonel, then.
Petty bourgeois law. This is all you care about, right? The only thing in the world for you types.
A drop of blood in the saliva. That's right. Pile it all on him now. 3 should do it. Maybe 4.
Come on, what am I forgetting?
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof.
Right, yes.
There were Maybells in the grass when you got here, and Maybells on Clausia's balcony. And nowhere else. Nowhere in all of Martinez have you seen them.
Right.
Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Clausia's bedroom. Now, they're gonna come up.
Wait, was he watching? Thank you, Head, thank you.
You got it. Remember? The boot prints were like no modern soul.
Maybells behind the victim's window. I saw them growing here.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them.
He seems tender suddenly. Nostalgic even. A strange mood swing.
So many this year, too? The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away.
I haven't seen these flowers anywhere else in Martinez. Only here.
They blossom on the islets before we fertilize them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May before they ruined it. The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered bourgeois children to play with.
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. Do you know any secret paths? Pinball workshops?
I may.
A young woman named Clasia. Ring any bells? Flowers like these were behind her window.
Clasier.
He knows her, but hadn't heard the name.
Yes, Clasia. You hadn't heard her name, had you?
My ears don't reach the city.
You know her, right? She had intimate relations with the victim, the mercenary?
With the victim.
There is a small tremble. Looks like a smile. A crooked smile. Yet isn't quite voluntary. He's about to burst. Don't leave any loose ends. Get him on everything.
I wonder what brand of boots you're wearing.
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa? Some shit.
Show me the souls, please, Mr. Dross.
Fucking imbecile.
Spiral pattern.
The maker is Sensorique. The model is Corobé, and the size is 43. These are not the unusual horizontal patterned souls you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size.
The size fits, but not the soul.
Wait, maybe it's simpler than that.
Sire, he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
People change shoes. Doesn't mean you weren't there, near the room the victim died in, sneaking around.
Racking those brains, are you? Desperate to report something back to your masters? They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The lieutenant gives you a quick sideways glance and nods to acknowledge. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from flickering, looking for something. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silent suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of wind. Seagulls in the distance.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer, armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer, dripping with blood.
He was a rapist. I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. Was he? Probably somewhere.
Beating us to the ground, moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
So you shot him.
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol.
The lieutenant raises his right arm to hush you. Hush. He does not need to be pushed anymore. The ball is rolling. While the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
Just nod.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them, in phase. And I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore.
Was
Again,
impressive.
I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her.
Then what?
Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own. And so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Yes.
Okay.
And you were looking at Dan, the victim and a young woman, having sex through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot him?
The old man nods.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
Oh.
The motive. This is where the motive is going to come from. You can coax it out of him. The lieutenant's preparing the ground.
Fuck off suggestion.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
Why were you looking at them that night? Wait. Do I want to put a point anywhere at this moment? Maybe not. I'll hold on to it. Why were you looking at them?
I'm always looking.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
And if you don't like it?
Click.
You pull the trigger?
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique.
He will not stop now. These dialectical materialist types never do. Exploit it. You got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift.
What specifically did you not like about what you saw the night of the murder?
Them. Fucking. I didn't like that.
So you were jealous?
Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself. Drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore. And I wanted to see his head explode.
Wanted her to.
That too. She should know
Important
better
distinction.
than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second, writhing. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything.
He wants to see her covered in blood. To punish her.
How long had you been watching her? Wait, you wanted to punish her so you killed him?
She practically breastfed that man. You wouldn't believe the things she let him do to her.
Don't know as I have an answer here. She deserved a good punishing. No, I hate women. No. I'm not like that. I don't think like that. Think I just say nothing.
The old man raises his gaze. Something glimmers in the corner of his black eye. A bitter taste on his tongue.
How long had you been watching her?
Since she came to Martinez, I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was dark, still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then, just a spot in the night, moving.
Past the Fell building on a ghost? What was she doing there?
Yeah, what was she doing there?
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared.
What do you think she hid there?
Her passport and ticket to Villiers. And from there to Cachet Brut.
In the free state of Seminine, hidden away at the edge of the earth, near the Pale.
Some kind of hidden container on the coast? You looked into it?
Yes, after she'd gone. It was a submersible. Well made, actually.
Sloppy. We should have gotten her to tell us about this. Did you take the documents?
No, I put them back. Why would I take them? I'm not going to phone. Oh, I mean,
Moving on. Did you continue watching her after this?
I did. She had a face like an archipelago, with those birthmarks, and a body hard and lean and bruised all over, black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too. A spook. On the run. Revachol's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
You could tell she was a spook from the documents?
She had different color hair on the photo, and glasses. Forged. Some sordid bourgeois affair. I've heard about this kind of thing on the radio.
He's setting it up for you.
Mm.
The bruises. You can't make that out in a scope.
And you can see her bruises through the scope of a rifle?
You can't see bruises through a scope. It's just a blur.
How does he know those minute details about her body?
He must have
Really?
climbed to the roof, maybe.
How did you get close enough to see her bruises, Mr. Dross?
I have my ways.
God damn it. How did we... Fuck's
You've
sake.
been through the secret route behind the whirling in rags. Those were your footprints.
At least he got it.
Just change your shoes.
I've been through all of Martinez. Every nook and cranny.
Thank God, Lieutenant is picking it up.
Right?
That Nook too?
Yes, that too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good. Funny the way light works. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but...
Those two took the cake.
Hmm.
You hear the familiar scribble of the lieutenant's pen. A quick glance at you. One more loose end down. We're doing this, detective.
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty.
But the key?
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope.
Andy found use for it. A spare key, like the one
Okay.
hanging behind the Union Box window.
You had feelings for that woman.
There's nothing to hold on to. Only this. It's not enough.
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly, like stones dripping with water. Is he crying?
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. It's weakness, I know.
There have been others.
Yes, over the years. It's not unproletarian to feel something.
Was that why you left the dried flowers behind her window?
No,
Why then?
I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, in the corner of her room on the floor, like she does sometimes.
When was this?
The day after I killed him.
And you brought her Maybells?
Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do anymore.
Neither does he. He lowers his head, like a sunflower on a withered stalk. In the silence, the lieutenant draws a line in his notes, then nods at you once more. One more down.
So in conclusion, it wasn't about him, It was about her.
Her.
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement. That's it. Motive. We have it.
Where is she, that Clasier? I haven't seen her there for days.
She got away, but she led us here first. She figured out someone was watching her from the seafort.
Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the scope this last week at the island, like she knew.
Bet she did.
She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof, staring right into me. It doesn't matter.
He knew she knows. She was looking at the island, figuring it out, day by day, cigarette by cigarette.
We could get more. We've got him talking.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what he's seen and done over the years? You could get more out of him. He likes talking.
Been looking at anything else you haven't liked?
A tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in him again. It straightens his back. The familiar put, put, put of hatred.
More specifically?
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez is the worst.
How come?
Because of the racists. Everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Listening to race-themed radio shows. In the ruins. In their lorries. Pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that Social Democratic Union and the farce of a Social Democrat who runs it.
Mr. Clare?
Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square, to spit on the working class.
I'll let him go.
Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins. In tents, like animals, like those boom-boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs.
That all?
The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no. The worst is that old cop parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too. Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozon, or Coyamoran, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children. That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least that old cunt Fricelle is now dead.
Nod.
We did good when we pushed him under that horse car. If only, in the 30s, those disco whores.
There was something about a statue and nihilistic advertising agency people might be worth investigating.
Disco whores?
Horse.
Okay. Something about the statue on the roundabout? And syphilis?
Syphilis is a disease Philip III contracted in a whorehouse. The statue is an abomination.
Abomination?
The bacteria entered his brain and made him squander trillions on sparkling wine, cocainum, and monuments of himself. His son, Philip IV, the insane, contracted syphilis in the womb.
That is technically possible, although Philippe III was not actually syphilitic. He was just mad.
Okay.
And he still went on to govern Revachol for 25 years. We lost 2 million lives toppling that mode of government. And those grotesque statues, too. Hundreds of them.
But it's still there.
What a keen remark. Yes, it is, isn't it? It's still there. Do you know why?
Ironically, because the king is holy and his statues are indestructible.
No. Cynical design cockroaches like you erected a new, ironic version of it. We tore it down with honest, working-class plastic explosives. But there it is again, grinning. Art is a bourgeois establishment. It's an affront to humanity. Every gallery should be bulldozed, and the artists should all be given 30 years of hard labor.
I see. Right. Okay, that's where we're going with
The
this.
bullet hole in Philippe's heart. The statue had been shot. That was him.
All right.
It had to be. He's already proven capable of taking a far more complicated shot from here.
It was you. You shot the statue. There was a bullet hole in his heart.
I did. A needless, sentimental gesture. I should have spared the bullet for a deformed monster of liberal capitalism. Shameful, really.
Yes, shameful. So many others to punish over the years. Isn't that right, detective?
That's it for the statue then. Tell me, Mr. Dross.
The fat union man let them put it there. Corrupt as he is. Probably got a fat check for it too. Shared with the law.
Yeah, you mentioned the Union is social democratic. Mr. Clare, a farce of a social democrat?
Another hideous disappointment.
I agree.
Unions are the real enemy. The true enemy of the proletariat. Placating the masses.
Disappointment. So personal. He displays a familiarity with the union's top brass.
Who's a disappointment? Everard Clare?
That deformed toad? I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass. I mean, the brains of the operation. The smart one.
He'll be his brother, right? Doesn't Everard run the Union?
That mobster toad couldn't run a shithouse. He has no political education. His twin, Edgar Clare, that one's been to one of those East Revachol universities. He talks a big game about uprising and alienation and so on.
You've talked to Edgar?
First against the wall with him.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Nothing happens in Martinez without them knowing.
Of course. Maybe the Clears asked him to.
Have you approached them?
I haven't approached anyone. I hid. It was Edgar who came to me.
How did he know you were here?
He didn't just stumble in like an oaf. He figured it out. Some kids told him about a monster on the island. I told you, he has brains. Stepped right off the boat and walked down where you came. I even kept the door open for him.
thought he was a man of the left, wouldn't rat me out. I was right about one of those things.
When was this?
20 years ago. Neither of them could walk now, could they? They were less fat then.
That's around the time the Clares came to power.
What did you talk about?
Edgar did the talking. Paid his respects like I were a fossil in a uniform. Offered platitudes about the struggle. Flaunted his pink degree. Even quoted Marzoff. Never trust a social democrat who quotes Marzoff. Oh, and charity too. They love their charity. Offered me blankets and social housing. I still have the gas cooker he brought.
And he let you be here?
Let me be here? The ZOC is an unlawful successor of the Commune of Revachol. We took this fortification from the Loyalists. Even the Clares understand this.
They let him be here. Understanding was a courtesy. But why such a courtesy?
Mr. Dross, did you kill the Krenel mercenary for the Clares to incite a riot?
You know why I killed that fucker, Duat. As to Edgar, I'm not doing anything for that swine again.
Again.
Again? What have you done for Edgar before?
Mm-hmm.
Tried teaching him some Marzovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick. We parted ways.
Okay, he didn't do the hanged man for them, but he's insinuating something.
92%, come on. What was the deal?
The connection comes to you like a splash of cold water. Dark, cold water.
Oh, we took out the previous Union boss. 20 years ago, when you met Edgar, the Clares didn't run the Union yet, did they?
He acknowledges it. Here we go. A twist behind the dark bend.
Who did?
That bourgeois cow. Tiffin Holly was her name. Licked the rich man's hand every time he came to town. Never seen a labor leader so hot on mutual cooperation.
That's just because you haven't met our Keith yet.
And money. She liked that too. That Holly was a real bridge builder and a deal maker.
She was also a woman, wasn't she? Like that Clashia.
She was. And she was real soft on those money men. Had a Barbara Muskova bag over her shoulder that she liked to bring to work.
And then she just disappeared.
Called in, they say. On the eve of battle. Ran away. Vanished like a piss stain.
No, that's not quite it, is it?
Did she? They say her daughter called in, not her personally. But that wasn't really her daughter, was it?
No, I guess it was not.
Edgar had someone make the call. Why is that, Mr. Dross?
She couldn't make the call herself.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. The bend in the river.
Why?
Because she was dead.
Mm-hmm.
Just say nothing.
Got it.
The cow caught a bullet in her right lung. Fell into the canal grasping her tit and drowned. Or bled? Hard to say. It was a sloppy job. And a moving target. She was going home, waddling, dressed in yellow, drunk like she often was. The ruins are black around her, and she had a yellow leather bag under her arm. She tried to cross the canal, heading home to Grand Couronne or Betancourt, someplace like that, where they build those new bâtiments for the people who flourish in the hell around her, and the ruins.
You shot her.
Someone shot her. Or maybe the cow just fell. My memory is full of holes. All I know is... nothing changed. Not in the material base.
Not in the hegemony. There was no uprising. Just words. The Union fizzled, sogged. Nothing came of it. Nothing.
Edgar didn't keep his part of the deal. If you were to testify to this, give the RCM something on Edgar, you could walk.
Wait, really? Aren't we here to solve the murder, not get Edgar?
We would strike everything you've done and process you as a POW. You were in a war. You were on assignment. We could even extradite you to the Samaran People's Republic.
A degenerate worker state. Go shit. No, thank you. I'm Revacholian. My days are short. I will rot away here, in a moral intern cell. I will not testify to anything.
But you did do it.
I saw it happen, and I liked it. That's all I have to say. I didn't live and fight for 40 years to end up as a collaborationist. I've heard it on Channel 8, 40 AM, Radio Revachol, late night. Everyone is a blobber in this world. Everyone betrays everyone. They're all already locked up for betrayal. The best ones, the ones with heart, were slaughtered, trampled.
The same old freezing hatred. There is plenty here to work with once he's in custody, and the lieutenant knows it. He gives you a little nod to proceed.
By the cop parading in his colourful uniform, you mean Rene?
Every fucking morning for 34 years. Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loathed that game. That is not a working class game. I don't care what they say on Radio June. Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race.
Oh, God.
A tank maniac, race traitor.
Now, I don't know about...
I remember him. I remember him from Lanos. Not him personally, his make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. I thought we took them all out before the liberals came to their rescue. We missed one. That one.
There doesn't seem to be a single person under the pine today. Not even Gaston. Alone.
There's no one there.
Fat and plump. Like a pheasant. Just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Truss. Shoot me.
You'd like to kill him?
Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face, and just fiddle the trigger. Think about it. Let the bonbon melt in my mouth.
Save the treat for later.
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think, no, don't waste it. Put this lead in that cock, Rene. For the boys he killed. And then I look at him throw those balls, and I suddenly feel better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. Haven't seen him around lately, strutting around. Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell. I hope he sweats blood.
Hearing it may destabilize him. You sure you've gotten everything from him?
Rene is dead. He died of old age a couple of days ago.
No,
Yes.
I waited too long.
I waited too long and now he's dead?
I'm sorry, Mr. Dross. I understand you knew him for a long time.
They're all dead now. Fuck it.
If he really wanted to kill him so bad, he would have done. There must have been 1,000 black days on these islands. His health ailing.
You had 1,000 chances to kill him.
And I blew them all. What does it matter now? He's gone. Ancient dust.
He reminded him of himself. The same hatred. The same. You tried to think of something else. But no. It's just hatred.
Are you okay to go on?
You think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do. Fuck and die. All the other plans we had. To love. To colonize the Pale. It's all fucked.
He's not okay. This is just another black day in a row of black days. Something strange is keeping him together, making him endure.
I'm glad we talked about this. Now,
Glad we talked about what?
Josef Lilianovich Dross, you're under arrest for the murder of Ellis Courtenaire.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable movements and mood swings.
Wait, taken to the what?
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
But...
Kim, he's afraid.
No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
Wait.
You thought you heard something, but it's just the reeds.
Really?
Maybe we could all fit in there.
Does it have room for 3?
Not really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here. But
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here?
Who watches him there while I come back for you?
you come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
What is this farce? This is a fucking farce. I can't.
Lillian, you could ask her maybe.
Maybe I can just ask the net picker to watch him.
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
No, listen. Listen now.
I really want to listen. What am I listening to? I could come back for you once I've taken him to the precinct.
Okay, how about I take him to the precinct and you wait on the island?
I'll do it. Let's not get into this.
This world. What are you talking about? Is this... us?
The wind is cold from the east. Your skin is crawling suddenly.
We're about to die. Oh shit! It's that thing. It's the cryptid. The fuck? It's real.
A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, to then just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
Was it there all along? Holy shit. Blank.
It's still there, an unfolding mechanism of reed-like chitin, hovering in place.
I didn't think the Phasmid was going to factor into this. What is that?
What are you talking about?
The giant stick insect.
There's nothing there.
Did I go mad?
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head.
I finally got insane.
You feel the lieutenant's hand on your back, and then you hear him say 4 words.
I can see it.
Oh shit.
Thank God. If he can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly.
Those traps were never going to catch this.
Its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
Do I want to spend this point right now? Be more logical. Give me more logic. That way. There we go.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints. As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks.
Your corpse will be marked by star something. I don't know. Can try. We did it!
Slowly, with your breath held, you take 2 small
3
steps
left.
toward the Phasmid. The creature lets out a series of ultrasonic clicks that swarm around your head like swallows. Like laughter, a sort of happiness. The tracheal system on the creature's abdomen expands in front of you to take in and expel air. It's smelling you. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its eyes are like small droplets of water.
Raise hand slowly. Can we pet the bug?
The insect stops its stridulation, seeming to observe you. Below its crown of reeds, little pinprick eyes detect motion, glittering. The world stands still around you. Suddenly, there is silence.
Maybe it doesn't like it? Oh, shit. Double down or back off? I feel like I might be losing my hands here, but we'll see. Raise the other hand too.
As you do, the invertebrate comes to life, its limbs moving independent of each other, as if each has a mind of its own.
Huh.
They are white, like stalks of porcelain, knitting above you, praying to you.
Don't pray to me. I'm nothing.
The reed creature does not stop its stridulations. It towers above you, parting the reeds it emerged from. Tuft-like structures still rustle on its joints.
Hello, I'm Harry. I don't really know who I am.
No reply. A total ancient silence comes from its mouth, along with what appears to be some kind of foam. The stridulations of its limbs continue all around you.
Tiptoes and look more closely.
You were right. Little bubbles form on the mouth parts of the creature, on its segmented lower lip. It looks to be foaming slowly. The foam is white, then yellowish.
Is it about to eat my head off?
The faintest smell, like you've never felt before, like burnt roses.
Let's drop back down.
The invertebrate stops, raising its scythe-like arms and tilting its tiny head, formed from the fused plates around its mouth. For a second, the effigy is frozen. Then it nudges back into motion with a click.
Did not give up. Spoke to the hanged man. Knows of parthenogenesis. What are you doing?
I exist.
I exist too.
Tell me what it's like for you.
I'm ill.
What is your illness?
My body aches. I'm bleeding.
I smelled it. As soon as you stepped on the island. Strawberries. Fresh bursts of red strawberries. Ripe, turning riper. Soon you'll be rotten. Now I will tell you how it is for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images. A kind of darkness. Being intruded upon. Transient. Dim. Moist.
Intruded upon by what?
Shapes of plants and animals. And internal sensations. A swarm of sounds. Tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am at the end of a narrow funnel. Weightless. So light, it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I'm nothing. I certainly do not have a soul. And if I did, it would never ache.
I'm glad to be me, an incredibly sensitive instrument.
Few of us can begin to imagine the horror of you, with all of creation reflected in your forebrain. It must be like the highest of hells, a kaleidoscope of fire and writhing glass. Eternal damnation. Even when you're sleeping, and when you wake, you carry it around on your neck, with eyes open that cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. I feel great, mute empathy for you.
It was very disorienting at first, but I'm keeping my shit together.
That must be incredibly hard. The Arthropods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we're watching. When you're tired, when the vision spins out of control, the insects will be looking on, rooting for you. And when you fall, we will come to raise you up. Bud from you, banner-like, blossom from you and carry you apart in a sky funeral, in honor of your passing. But not me, because I'm just a leaf eater.
I'm a detective.
So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect?
The killer.
He's in a bad state, deteriorating fast now. He thinks I am beneficial to him, but I am not. I only quicken his deterioration.
Wait, is this affecting him? You're destroying him?
Very slowly, and only because he won't go away. It is meant to keep them from noticing me, to
Oh
interfere with the
shit.
picture in your head. But he has looked at me for too long, and I am destroying him.
This phasmid does something to make people forget. That's interesting, and it's fucking with this guy. Is this a dream? What's happening?
No, you are awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real.
What exactly are you?
I am an unknown species of the order Phantasmodia, endemic to the Insulindian Isoma. For the last 350 years, I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molding, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with trash bins and boys. No, no one believed I exist. Almost no one. Until you came, detective. Dripping of blood that smells like strawberries. Across the calm sea, the first in 1,000 years.
It's not what it says there at all.
I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions until I was accidentally discovered by a detective of the citizen militia in Revershaw, district of Martinez, March 51.
That's insane.
No, you are. The moral of our encounter is I am a relatively medium life form, while it is you who are a total extreme madness. A volatile simian nerve system ominously new to the planet. The Pale too came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Nidarians do not. The radially symmetrics do not.
What?
There is an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all.
Wait, what is the pale though?
It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great, unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind.
I don't have that kind of power.
You're a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Give me enough time, you will wipe us all out and replace us with nothing. Just by accident.
How?
We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped
Oh, shit.
out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing. Only much worse.
Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts.
Worse how?
Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind the nose mirror. What if you blink? Are we still here? Please don't blink. What if you misplace us all one day, or just forget?
I will be extra careful not to blink, stick insect. Don't worry.
Please be. Or one day, one of you will close your eyes and sigh, and open them to see that none of this ever existed.
Where does this come from? All this around us, the world.
Not even the birds know that. Not even the water lily.
And all we can do is beat our fists against it, day after day, with no answer.
You can also eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Yum yum. Or read.
Kim, am I having a violent epileptic seizure?
It doesn't look like that, no.
What does it look like?
You're just staring at it.
Then I think I'm having a vision about the final fate of mankind.
Okay. Is it somehow related to the case?
The case? The case is meaningless compared to this. I've totally transcended the case.
I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied species.
I have to say goodbye now. I have no more thoughts. That was all.
No, there is one more.
Of all the creatures I've met, you are the kindest.
Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you. That woman. Turn from the ruin. Turn and go forward. Do it for the working class.
I will.
She was middle class. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that.
Kim, it's smelling me.
Maybe it is real, the pheromone.
About now, he is ready to believe in anything. The insect's head is crowned with reed-like scales, the shape of seed heads. They rustle as the air moves. The ventricles at its abdomen continue expanding, like lunglets. Breathing you in, your sour, greasy semiochemicals on the breeze.
Okay, Kim, take the picture.
Okay.
There is no change in the insect's motion while it's being aimed by the camera.
Oh, is this going to set it off?
Remains
It's going to be a
fixated
flash.
on you.
It's going to be Men in Black, opening scene.
In 3. If it moves, you jump back. I'll shoot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
The shrill flash of the camera cuts the air like the blade of a sword. The phasmid freezes in its bright light. Head turned toward the lieutenant, hypnotized by the flash. It stands frozen before you.
I got it.
We got it. Back off.
A shudder pulses through the creature's limbs. It jolts back to life, like a record continuing where it left off, in a swaying, praying motion. Even the small black pearls of its eyes do not stray from you.
Okay, I think we try and back off.
As you're turning away, the phasmid mirrors your movements, stepping on the water, the long limbs carrying its feather weight without breaking its surface.
Bye. That was very, very unexpected.
And
Huh.
just like that, it's gone, skating away across the sea's calm mirror,
Like a pond skimmer.
skipping stone, leaving nothing but circles on the water. And something under it, in the place it stood, bobbing there, among the reeds, a
Eggs.
collection of items.
It's gone.
A brood. What's that in the reeds?
Looks like a nest of some sort. We should have a look.
Can walk on water?
Apparently, yes. Like a water strider. Only, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
What now?
What now?
In some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Our suspect is not looking so good. We need to check on him.
What about that? Got the rifle scope and the helmet. Wait, isn't that... What's his face? Oh no, different one. This monstrous-looking bug-eyed ceramic helmet was in the phasmid's nest. Oh, that's one of the pieces. Still has some reeds sticking out of it, and it smells of seawater, but it's otherwise wearable, if not exactly comfortable. Putting it on feels scary somehow. The rifle scope. Got it.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Something is very wrong with him now.
Sir, how could you not see the phasmid?
See.
Yeah, it's fucked with him.
Mr. Dras?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets, his gap-toothed mouth shaking with fear and longing.
Touch his shoulder gently.
The plastic cape feels coarse. A light shiver passes the man. Other than that, no reaction. He feels small and frail.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it, Mr. Dras?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
What has happened to this man?
Old age and shock.
I think it's the phasmid.
Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you?
Quite a few things about that health check you did on him make sense now.
He couldn't see it, Kim. It's just the reads for him.
That could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here. Mr. Dras,
No response.
Maybe this is how the phasmid has stayed hidden all these years.
then how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks, sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But anyone who spends a long time with it.
Yes, you forget it's there.
Mr. Dras, have you ever seen a stick insect pretending to be the reeds? The doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse.
Before, when I evaluated his state, he seemed strangely animated.
He was energetic and articulate. After all these years alone, with little hygiene or medication, I would expect worse.
Perhaps this animation is induced by something in the phasmid?
It does not seem to be animated now it's left. Honestly, I'm ready to believe anything at this point. Maybe it is psychoactive. I mean, why not? It's 3 meters tall.
Could it be there's something hormonal in his relationship to the phasmid?
You mean pheromonal?
He seemed a little off for a man of his age. Randy,
The scope, knowing of her bruises, his disposition toward Miss Orania? I see what you mean.
I talked to the phasmid. It said it's destroying him.
You should be more careful, detective. Are you sure it wasn't having an effect on you?
Maybe. Anyway, it's only trying to remain unseen. The degradation is a side effect.
A valid hunch. Long-term exposure to something like that could be neurodegenerative. Also, please be careful when approaching unknown species in the future, detective.
He's been here for a long time. Who knows how much of it in its company? Oh, right, yeah.
He did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him, like he didn't want to leave this place, and the insect maybe. I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this. This will be one hell of a report. Thank God we have the photo.
No one would believe you without it.
We found some things in the phasmid's nest, Mr. Dross.
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should.
Show him the scope first.
I lost.
You lost it, Mr. Dross?
He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times. Beige and white stripes.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie phasmid. This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot?
Silence. Not even a sigh. You've gotten all you will out of this poor being.
Going to let you rest now, Mr. Dross.
The plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open. The blacks of his eyes are receding. His pupils are returning to normal.
Hang tight.
We should think about getting back to the mainland to get help. He'll be safe here if we don't take too long.
Anything else? I think that's it. Fuck it, I'm not walking the entire way. I mean, what are his options at the moment? Swim off the island? So after all that, it's some guy fighting an old war, long ended, with no real motive. I wonder if we'd worked this out, what the goons would have
The
done
skiff is swaying on the waves by the dock.
at the confrontation. Would they have come looking for him? I wonder. Let's return to the mainland.
Let's. We are done here.
More music?
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you. Two men and a woman stand on the concrete square of a nameless village, looking at a small yellow boat as it draws closer.
That's
The
our
sea
hit
is
squad.
calm.
I don't think those three goons were related. They were company people.
You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
Where is she?
Look what the tide brought in.
Oh, he was wearing a wig.
Harry, you're bleeding all over the place. You're half dead.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen. This is the man with sunglasses from the Whirling in Rags. But where are his sunglasses?
Wait, you're the man with sunglasses.
That's right. And you're bleeding.
No one else seems bothered by the bleeding.
Bothered by it? Harry, you look like you need a fucking organ transplant. Fuck it. Let's not get into that.
Forget about all this. There's a giant...
We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
Who are you people?
Hello, Trent Heidelstam. I believe we've met on several occasions.
Oh, it's the guy with his kid.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Quemar. And this is your special task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heidelstam, Patrol Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi, Prison 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us.
The scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify your actions.
Poor Kim.
We might need your help with something later.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
Oh, I bet he can be a naughty boy.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Hey, Lilo. Welcome. How you doing?
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you.
What is this about?
Ari, we want to help you. Trant, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a
Oh, God.
really theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
How am I finding it? It's super interesting. Nothing I can think of is quite like it. I will say, if you're curious about playing it, this is possibly right at the end, so spoiler territory. If you were here like 2 minutes ago, you would have met the killer, and they may still get discussed. So just a heads up. But yeah, the game's good. It's really good. Controls a little bit weird, but it's kind of neither here nor there. And I'm playing on controller, and it's fine. It's manageable for the most part.
No, Trant. It's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
I see a lot of replayability, though. Going different ways through the story. Even if the end result's the same. Well, might not be, I guess. Depending on how successful different builds are at finding clues, I don't know.
What does he have to say for himself? He left you to catch the bullets. Shit, kid. What an interesting moniker.
Not the horse-faced woman. Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But yeah, it's super interesting. This is what we're working with at the moment. I am quite weedy, but I can argue I literally argued a door open earlier. And I also, through sheer force of will, managed to... Oh, I had a point. I didn't want to spend that. Through sheer force of will, I managed to teleport myself up a building, which I thought was pretty impressive. I think I want a little bit more logic right here. Although I suspect I'll be regretting not getting more composure. But we'll take it. How did you know I was here? I don't need to ask what a shit kid is. Come on.
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
Okay. Damn you, cafeteria manager. You've betrayed me for the last time.
Speaking of which, the giant aerograffito in front of his building, in red, government-marked fuel. Did you do that?
It was this one junior delinquent.
I don't know. It had shit kid written all over it.
Stop calling me a shit kid. You mentioned a task force?
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells?
Refresh my memory. Who else is in this?
Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Trant fucking Heidelstam, and Guillaume Bevy.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
I didn't say a thing when he was hanging out with his kid and we were talking to him.
Fuck you. You're part of this shit show.
Yeah, first, who's Guillaume Bevy?
Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left, because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Trant, because I'm forcing him to stay.
Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde and partial to sunglasses?
Is this Guillaume Bevy blonde with sunglasses like you were?
See? There! He's getting it. I was impersonating him. Look at me, I'm G-Baby. It was going to be funny, but then you really did have brain damage. So, not so much anymore.
Yeah, so for context, the character, the main character, when you start the game, is waking up from like the world's biggest bender after however many decades of alcoholism, to the point where he's lost his memory, which I guess works primarily really well as a gameplay, well, just a narrative excuse rather, for the character to have as little knowledge as the player. Gives you plenty of opportunities and reasons to be like, what's that to everything. Yeah.
He sincerely thought it was going to be amusing for both of you.
Okay, so what does the unit do?
Do? It's a major crimes unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We're shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
The 41st isn't...
The worst station in town? Which is the worst station? His own, maybe? You know what? Fuck it. You aren't the man with sunglasses at all. You're not even blonde.
Guilty as charged. I heard you lost your mind and your memory. I wanted to see if it was true. And it was. Good work, Harry. You're insane now. There's one less person for me, and everyone else...
Wait a minute. Am I getting pushed off the force here? Ah, fair play, dude. Fair play. Enjoy the drive.
He was too sarcastic for you to realize who he was.
Maybe if you hadn't been so sarcastic, I would have realized I knew you. You know what? No. That's fair. I had that coming.
Had what coming? Not recognizing people you work with every day? Brain damage?
You never told me you're not the horse-faced woman.
Lieutenant, my name is not Horse-Faced Woman. It's Judith Minot. I was assigned to your unit 2 months ago. I thought we were friends.
We're still friends. I just have a stupid head.
Okay. Because you're my commanding officer, I really want to respect you. I want us to have a normal relationship.
That will never happen, Jude. He's the rudest man on Earth. He's the reason why the rest of us have to take sensitivity training. And I hate sensitivity training.
Okay. So Trant Heidelstram turns out to be Special Consultant Trant Heidelstram.
Yes, I'm Trant Heidelstein. I never said I wasn't Trant Heidelstein.
Yeah, wait, what was up with the kid then?
Mikhail? Mikhail is my son.
Oh yeah? What was up with all the interesting history? Spying on me?
No, I was just interested in the Feld building and the Martinez beachhead. And Mikhail wanted to see Martinez. It was a coincidence.
Him being there with his son, it was not a coincidence. It's difficult to see, but he was worried about you. And also interested in the Feld building.
So what are you special consulting then?
What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Krimxon in the 30s, like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
Uh-huh.
He's here to see if you're insane. He's smart. Let's move on.
Duped again. No one's who they say they are.
Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk, and you won't be duped so easily.
Okay, that does have something to do with it, yes.
No, everyone's just a brilliant master of disguises.
Where have you been all this time? there was a mercenary tribunal, and you guys happened to not be there.
God damn it, Harry. You told us to fuck off. You said we are cramping your style. You're detective god. Fuck everything. All will burn. Detect or die.
Wait, so you let me face a squad of trained killers alone just to teach me a lesson?
It wasn't like that.
Fuck you, Harry. We didn't know there was gonna be a tribunal, did we?
All will burn, Satellite Officer Vic Mayer. Make no mistake about it.
Here we go. Alcoholic delirium. Visions. All must pay.
None of this is ringing any bells.
The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic.
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, e-solar, hell, and so on.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
Maybe I shouldn't have let everybody know that I'd forgotten. Maybe in the next playthrough.
Interesting?
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
Wait, socioeconomically? You think I'm so poor that I lost my memory?
Not when you phrase it like that. But I don't think critical theory. I know everyone thinks this is far-fetched pink academia, but still, I don't think it should be off the table here.
What? He lost his memory because of capitalism?
Yeah. Let me have that option.
No, not like that. I'm not talking for Hedefort's school here. But Harry, I asked you, what do you think happened?
Yeah, see, I want to go with the top one, that I drank so much I lost my memory and I'm now slowly recovering it. But that's way less fun than capitalism. Capitalism fucked me beyond all recognition. Trant is right.
Look at F. Boohoo here, victim of the ethanol industrial complex. What are you, an inva communist now? You think this is a joke? Asking him was a mistake. He's a teenage psycho. I asked you. It's not possible to wipe your own memory with alcohol alone, right? He's either lying or insane.
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before.
I have?
Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case, the other when we looked into that mural.
So you don't remember not remembering. Beautiful.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here. Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for it to end.
Okay, Trant, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a crétin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
Fuck all of you. I don't want to be in your unit.
No, Harry. Fuck you. You already fucked us. I've already explained this shit to Price twice, to Berdiayeva 4 times. I'm your partner. I answer for you when you're not there.
What now?
Now, nothing. Now we're just going to stand here.
Okay, I'll just stand there.
Yeah. Just stand there. It's cool.
Really?
No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to your
Oh,
photo
yeah.
carriage? Why is it there, Harry?
Hold on. In the ocean? Huh? What?
Yes, in the ocean, under the sea. Our work vehicle with fish and clams and other sea shit.
I really want to say that I thought the killer would be underwater. I really... You know what? It doesn't say sarcasm, but he's probably going to take it that way anyway. I thought the killer would be underwater. He wasn't.
Ha ha ha. Ho ho ho. Underwater killer. So funny, Harry. Thank you for fucking me. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of my payslip. You know that, right? You're gonna get fired. And I'm gonna pay till I die. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
I got my badge right here.
He squints at it, suspiciously, trying to ascertain if it's not a blue candy wrapper or a piece of vine.
Okay, and your gun?
What is it with all these material objects?
My gun is right here. And I'll show him the gun.
Phew, he has it. I thought it was in the ocean. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone.
I quit drinking forever. It's only me in this boring hellhole now.
I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then, huh?
He's wounded. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
None of this matters. My odor situation? It's meaningless compared to what I've discovered.
What you've discovered? You let the suspect escape. A certain Glacier. Because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
I have not had a single drop of alcohol or any drugs this entire playthrough. I wasn't going to hold it against him either way, but like, to have a bender that makes you lose all your memory seems like maybe a time to like at least take a break, right? And take stock and maybe, I don't know, find the murderer, you know, in this case we're trying to solve.
We've read the report, Sari. Lieutenant Kitsuhagi's. We know.
Oh, okay, maybe not talking about the oxygen holocaust. Yes, I let her go as an act of mercy.
Ah, well. If you let her go, I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect who escaped. Another act of mercy.
Okay, but I actually couldn't stop that one.
Or the fact that you're Everard Claire's little peony now, doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 7 people who were gunned down,
Oof.
the streets are literally red with blood, Harry.
Yeah.
It was fucking mass murder.
That didn't go great.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired and vetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals.
Thanks, Kim.
He did so at considerable risk to his own life. He was shot, not once, but twice. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
I also solved the case. It's solved. All of it.
Detective, it's better if I do that.
It's so much better if he does this. A million times better.
Okay.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation. You spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
Oh, this could get rough.
The case?
On Lieutenant Geoffretor Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's so true. Although he has not been drinking on the job this week.
Thank you.
See?
1 week.
Then there's the self-flagellation issue. He likes to apologize profusely, making it sound like he's guilty of at least first-degree murder. It's not a good communication strategy for an officer. It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socio-economist. He wants to liquidate the ruling class, which, again, for a police officer, is a little odd.
Nah, I'm just working from within. I'm sneaky.
You should yell something.
It's really not a good idea. But rhetoric's like my signature skill that I picked. I am a policeman of the state to come.
The RCM consists of policemen of the state that is, so a little discrepancy there. Other still, he is also an ultra-liberal hustler who is always on the grind. How he reconciles these 2 points of view, I do not know, but he is vocal about both of them. And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, something I was not present for. But despite all this, he is a great detective, one of the best I have seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him everything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential.
Thank you.
He is tireless, madly driven. Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, I have to disagree with you, Mr. Vicmar, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
I appreciate that. That was a lot of work. A lot of heart went into that karaoke.
Okay, he did something.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years.
Super cop.
Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
Yeah, I'm a genius. Praise me, bow before me.
A new species?
Hell yeah. Got photos and everything.
A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid.
He takes out the photo of the phasmid and shows it to the officers across the yard. The wind blows, flapping the glossy rectangle in his hand. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind.
Yeah.
As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered.
I kind of want to say boom shakalaka motherfucker, which might be one of the greatest options I've seen in a video game with dialogue options. But this is pretty good as well. So, as you can see, I'm a pretty okay detective and an absolutely giant communist.
Fucking hell is that? Is this somehow connected to the case?
Detective?
Yes, I believe the pheromone it emits may be responsible for the killer's mental degradation.
The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is connected.
I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for it.
Yes, it really does make it hard to fight out the drunk.
This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him forget his sadness.
Yeah.
Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never.
We don't want to talk about the nightclub. The killer, Lilianovich. Wait, no, the Phasmid was female. The reader is Nest.
Female? What makes you think so?
Oh shit! It told us.
You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting behavior too, I think.
Incredible. Were there eggs in the nest?
Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though.
It had gathered items in its nest: a helmet and a scope.
Actually, you know, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They are for attracting mates.
It could have been male, actually.
Must be robust if it can move a helmet with its limbs.
That's just from the cryptozoologist. We don't need that. I think it reproduces by parthenogenesis. Fuck it.
As in cloning itself? What makes you think so?
Observation.
Well, then it wouldn't matter if it's a male or female. The bower would just be rudimentary behavior from before the parthenogenetic mutation.
That makes sense. Yes.
Very interesting. Such organisms are extremely vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the whole species. We're probably looking at conservation efforts here.
It had mandibles that looked like hair, and it was completely white on the inside.
Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, it still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs.
Incredible. The PR value of this is exceptional. Carp discovers new species. Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. No, that's too much.
This would really help with some of the problems we've been having.
Oh yeah?
Absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest.
Ugh.
You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo.
Tabloid bullshit.
Without it,
You're doing good here. Perhaps only for a moment, but still.
Fuck off suggestion.
Quit while you're ahead? Or no?
The killer, Lilianovich Dross. We have a strong motive for him.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym.
A revolutionary matronym?
The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead. This man's mother was Lilian. His Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
He wasn't quite sure about the straggler before he heard this detail. It must have convinced him.
He killed the mercenary in an act of jealousy.
Jealousy? I thought this Lilianovich was an old man. To have been hiding for 50 years,
44.
something?
44 years.
A strange psychosexual fixation, aggravated possibly by proximity to the phasmid and its chemicals. He himself gave a political reason, said he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have ballistics from the gun, matching the bullet found in the dead mercenary's head, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
Oh, it's way more than that.
I don't want to win Dora back. It's more than that. A perfect folding mechanism, like the Phasmid.
Perfect folding mechanism. Get over yourself, Harry. I can still smell the booze on the wind.
Oh, fuck off.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It is there, like in your bones or something. It will pass in time.
The previous head of the Debardeurs Union was assassinated by our killer.
This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open. In Martinez, where Evrart and Edgar Clare have ears everywhere.
Understood, of course.
But a case against Everard would be big.
I would prefer not to partake in anything Union-related, for political neutrality.
This has to be good stuff for him to backpedal out of it at first mention.
There was also a dead man on the boardwalk, a missing person I found.
Yes. Fallen through a gap in the boardwalk. Drunk.
How did you know I found him?
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Still, good work with the missing person, Detective.
It's still a point for you. No denying it.
I'm not going to talk about the nightclub or the ghost mystery, no. So what do you say? Want to take this hot shit back?
I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder.
Ha! Fuck you, you're stuck with me.
So I have to. Jude?
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Wait, I have a few questions before we go, about who I am.
The man looks westward, impatiently. Jingling his car keys in his pocket.
The Phasmid, I need to tell Lena about this ASAP.
Who is Lena? Well, good luck finding her once we get back.
Yeah, she lives in Jamrock. I didn't mean to press that. My bad. Okay.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the Phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. I'm sure we'll find them. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change.
She is going to be over the moon.
Okay. Am I a dirty cop working for La Puta Madre?
No.
No? Because the suspects seem to think...
You're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you.
Fair.
I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit.
He would immediately backpedal out of it. I told you it's not that bad.
I don't want to ask those questions, who am I, etc., because that just gives them more info. Lieutenant Kitsuragi, what will you do now?
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain.
About what?
Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate.
Want to do that at Station 41?
Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of two captains with my doom-mongering.
No, I meant investigate. Come work in Precinct 41.
Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
Would fit in. Am crazy enough. Can take the stress. He doesn't know how to finish the sentence. This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's at a loss.
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
They know him?
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
Let's spend this point real quick. Composure? Poker face. Alright.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
I do like the sound of that.
Oh, achievement. We got Kitsuragi winning.
He's really considering it.
More than that, because I just got the achievable. Okay, I'm ready. Wait. No, we're ready.
Good.
Fuck it. Let's go. Tron brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Under the noonday sky, the great district hums. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls, and chimney stacks. Fire traps as far as the eye can see. From Main Street to Precinct 41, to Boogie Street, forking into the snow-swept horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Dawson? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No. Vicmere? Yes. Dubois? Of course.
Huh?
Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Potomny Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in his office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the people. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minnow? Of course.
What list?
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
Oh, there's the limp. Did we do it? It's maybe a finale. Ah, gave me a shoulder after all. I guess that's it. What an interesting game. And I really love the art style throughout. The UI, the game itself. Like, it wasn't the most technically impressive game by a long way. I wouldn't necessarily say it was the prettiest. Yeah, no, that was real good. There's a lot of stuff, obviously, that I still didn't finish off. Stuff that I couldn't finish off. We never did manage to internalize that Advanced race theory. Measurehead won't be happy. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of Eastern European names, is it? I couldn't guess the nationality. I expected to see a lot of French names. I don't know why, but I've been getting real French vibes throughout it. Mainly a lot of the accents, I guess, but also some of the words. I should just look it up, really, but that's way less fun. That's a whole 6 QAs, really. Oh, no, okay, there were more. Well, not many more. Well, I mean, I don't think it broke at any point, did it? Yeah. So, I will say, having played this a little bit with keyboard and mouse and mostly with controller, controller's more convenient because I can't be arsed holding a keyboard and mouse if I don't have to. But it would be the better way of controlling it. Because navigating manually, because of the way the environment is, it can be a real pain to get around. I'm recognizing none of these names. Relatively unknown voice actors then, I guess. Which is cool. I mean, the big names are all great, but you can get a little bit bored because you hear them enough. You hear Yuri Lowenthal and Liam O'Brien enough times, and no matter what voice they're doing, you know it's them. But wait, we could have called the 24-hour window company? Who was probably a migrant? Boy Striker Breaker. Yeah, we never finished the storyline with the communists. Kind of found that a little bit late and then didn't want to hold off, drag it out. Still no idea what was going on with the mega rich light bending guy either. But yeah, super interesting. I do definitely want to play through it at least once more. I think just as interestingly now, I'll have some fun seeing other people's playthroughs, see what else they find, stumble across. But yeah, overall, very good game. It's hard to say without having played it before the final cut when they added all this lovely voice acting. How much that affects it, but I did enjoy that. Some good voices, particularly for the main narration and your internal monologues, your limbic system and your lizard brain. They were really well done. And yeah, I guess, I don't know. A couple of times I kind of got locked out of situations I wish I'd been able to interact with more. Namely, like Joyce. After not being able to show her my badge and then finding it, I never saw the option to show it to her. Also, I'm sure it told me at some point there was a fast travel system that I just never managed to work out how to use. Not a massive problem, but it would have been a nice time saver. I look forward to playing around and going a bit more crazy on some of the options. Definitely next run though, I'm going max physical. Maybe no intelligence, but still have some nice arguing power. I don't know. Or maybe just physique and motorics. All body, no brain. Just to see what different options we get. I want to get a bit of Shivers and Half-Light. Be a bit physically imposing, right? And hear the word on the wind. See what that stuff does. Hopefully it's enough to make another playthrough interesting enough. But yeah, I guess now that means we can move on to RE8. Play a bit of Village tomorrow. Actually, maybe not. Because I don't think I'll have chance. I'll double check, but I might not have chance to stream on Saturday. So I might just play some Monster Hunter tomorrow instead. We'll see. But yeah, it was good. Lasted. There were parts that felt a little bit drawn out, but nothing too bad. Hey, Arx. Welcome to the end of the game. You have a good day? Yeah. Well, I want to get one run through of Village done on stream. And then very, very much looking forward to starting near... Not Automata, not Gestalt. Replicant? Replicant. Looking forward to starting that. Hopefully some point next week. Yeah, if I push. Depends how quickly we get through Resident Evil, I guess. I'm not going to rush, but I will be looking forward to Nier. It was alright. Good, good, good. Wait, it's Thursday now, right? Still got Friday to get through. Huh. Stress relief, Ziggy the dog. I love when credits add the dogs. Chris Avalon did write for this. Interesting. Wait, Larian Studios helped? Huh. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I wonder how much with. Do we get like a stat screen or anything? Or a kind of lowdown? Or are we just getting booted right back to the main menu, I guess? Huh. Alright. I guess that's it then. Yeah, you have unfortunately again coming Hux at the end of the game and a stream, in fact. Start to chuck it down. Oh shit. I hope it doesn't chuck it down here. I've got some nice teriyaki pork steaks I was going to have for dinner. And I'm going to barbecue them one way or another. I'd just rather not have to do it in the rain. But I'm stubborn, so if it comes to it, I will. Yeah, good game. Good game. Big recommend. I'm going to have to look into this Larian Studios link. I suppose they could have lent a lot of writers. They have quite a few. I hear they ramped up for Divinity, Original Sin 2, and probably even further for Baldur's Gate. PogChamp. We don't recognize PogChamp anymore around here. We live for poggers. But yeah, game's good. Game's good. If anyone's interested and remotely curious about it, I highly recommend it. It's no idea what that one is. There's no very, very little combat. But I guess maybe if I had physical stats, more combat options would open. We could have at least moved Measurehead aside and skipped a lot of stuff there. But yeah, good game. Very good game. It's going to be tough now. Divinity, this. 13 Sentinels. This year I've been playing a lot of good games with some good story. I guess we did also play at least a little bit of pillars, and more importantly, what's the game? The Xbox game, the really shit one. Too human. So I guess that kind of balances it out. Fart man still farting. Somewhere, yeah, somewhere he's doing the stink face. A lot of good games. A lot of good games. Feels good. Soul food. Anyway, have a good one, folks. I'm going to jump off and go make a move towards food before Ark sends his rain my way. Enjoy the rest of your day. I might be back on this evening if I can stay awake. I did start work at 4, so there's a definite chance I'll just be conked out very soon. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll be on tomorrow either way. Not sure what yet. We'll leave it open. I'm not going to make any promises. But have a good one all. Take care. I am tired. 4 AM starts will do that, dude. They really, really will. People aren't meant to be awake that early. It's bad for the body, the mind, and the soul. But it's a job, I guess, and it pays. Badly, but it pays. Right. I'm off. Thank you. I appreciate it. I always enjoy barbecue. I'm going to go do that now. Thinking about it's making me hungrier. Smell you later, all. Have a good one.